That was TAC Cube 001. Next up on the agenda, Resistance is Futile 2. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sure. All right. Resistance is Futile, Storyline OP Month 2, Unimatrix 0. A group of drones has broken their connection with the hive mind and formed Unimatrix 0, blah, blah, blah. You are to
Nobody
hunt down the
cares.
rebels, and the rebels are to survive from the Borg Queen. So, for anyone who didn't see, there has been a clarification on what exactly this OP is meant to be on the WizKids site. And yes, it is true you are supposed to bring 2 different fleets to this event. Actually, they don't even have to be completely different. You just have to have 2 fleets. They could combine ships in different ways and upgrades and stuff and whatever.
You can run the same fleet in both if they work by the point rules.
Indeed. Let's see. Special rules. There is no terrain in this scenario. Oh boy. Completely open field. The only rules in this scenario have to do with fleet building.
We are the Borg. The Borg love blank maps.
No, they love planets, man. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, we like planets better, but both are pretty cool.
You like Borg like whatever and anything because they're they're Borg.
Borg are not huge fans of like mines being strewn everywhere or something. I don't know. Orbital weapons platforms that we don't have dice to evade, maybe.
Yeek. All right, indestructible ones at that. So let's go with the special rules. So in this OP, there are essentially 2 types of cards. There are Borg cards, and there are not Borg cards. Every card is either one or the other.
Nope.
Yes.
Admiral.
Really?
The point reductions apply to captains and upgrades on a ship.
Well, that's special. But besides that, they are still either Borg cards or not Borg cards. They just don't get the same benefits. So, Borg cards are anything with a Borg symbol on them. This includes the Borg independent upgrades that came with the Sung, like Croesus and Goval and those guys. Non-Borg cards, anything that doesn't have the Borg symbol on it. So that's pretty much, that is indeed every single thing else. Let's see. You have 2 fleets. They will be named the Borg Fleet and the Rebel Fleet. Just because it is called the Borg Fleet does not mean you must have Borg ships. It is just a name. It does not make everything Borg.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
It facsimilates fake Borg, but they're not technically
There's no
Borg.
reason not to run Borg here.
So, the Borg Fleet. Every Borg card that is assigned to the Borg Fleet costs -1 SP.
And by card, we mean captains and upgrades, not ships and not admirals, because WizKids forgot that admirals aren't upgrades.
That was on the clarification, right? I don't have that up right now.
Yes, that was on the clarification. Let me pull that up.
Gotcha. Every Borg ship in the Borg Fleet adds an additional Borg upgrade slot to its upgrade bar. Every non-Borg ship in the Borg Fleet does not pay a faction penalty when assigning any Borg captain or Borg upgrade to its ships. This is different than being Borg faction. It just says Borg do not pay faction penalties. It gets the regenerate action added to its action bar, and it may exchange one of its upgrade slots for a Borg upgrade slot. Every ship with Borg upgrade slots, everything with a blade of hull armor. That's the word I was looking for. Let's see. In addition, the Borg player receives 1 mission token on each of his ship cards. At any time a ship in the Borg fleet is supposed to spend any of its drone tokens, it may discard the mission token from its ship card instead of one of those drone tokens. Once used, these mission tokens cannot be restored during the battle. So basically, you get 1 free drone on every ship. I would not spend it though, because for each one of those, so each of those singular drones is worth 8 fleet points. All right. On the other side, you have a Rebel Fleet. Every non-Borg card that is assigned to the Rebel Fleet costs -1 SP to a minimum of 0. Faction penalties do still apply, however. Every Borg ship that is part of the Rebel fleet is treated as though it were independent, loses the regenerate action from its action bar, and cannot use any action or text ability that requires drone tokens to be spent in order to use it.
Let's be very clear, because I'm going to talk about this. That only applies to Borg faction ships. Let's continue.
Indeed. If a Borg captain is assigned to a ship in the Rebel fleet, that captain does not get any drone tokens. Instead, it just has a captain skill. In addition, Rebels get 3 mission tokens on each ship card. Each round, a ship in the Rebel fleet may discard a mission token from its ship card to re-roll one of its attack dice during the Modify Attack Dice step, or re-roll one of its defense dice during the Modify Defense Dice step. Once used, mission tokens cannot be recovered. The Rebel mission tokens are only worth 2 fleet points each. So each ship gets additional 6 points worth of mission objective.
You all right there, Will?
Hmm?
You all right?
Oh yeah, burrito for dinner. Not agreeing.
And just to be clear, the Borg mission token is worth 8, and each Rebel is worth 2. So if the game goes to time, the Borg win by default.
Yay! We are the Borg. The Borg are amazing.
Oh boy, because we needed that advantage.
So don't let your match go to time.
Unless you're Borg.
Unless you're Borg, in which case, let your match go to time, or
run all the ships with like 10 million transwarp conduits. Woo!
Woo! All right. So, last part is the battle round pairings. This is it's not as complicated as it sounds. We determine who is going to use a Borg fleet and a Rebel fleet in the first round. You then pair up in the second round according to the split down the middle that happened for the first round. So the top Borg player from the first round faces the top Rebel player from the second round, and they switch which fleet they're using. So the top Borg player is now using a Rebel fleet, top Rebel player is now using a Borg fleet. So you will use both of your fleets in this tournament, guaranteed in the first 2 rounds.
Unless you get a bye, but...
Unless you're using the simplified rules.
Yeah, there's that. And then in round 3, every odd-numbered placed player gets to choose which fleet they are using, and their opponent plays the opposite one. It's an interesting way to decide it, and a little bit random, but hey, whatever. Feels unfair to everyone in the even position, because I feel like the Borg fleet is going to have a bit of an advantage on this one. What about you guys?
A little, but in doing some rudimentary building, I'm actually finding some really interesting Rebel fleets.
Yeah.
There is that. Especially
example,
since you can run Borg ships under the Rebel fleet.
Yes.
Here's a fun one. Faction Pure, Avatar of Tomid because Romulan independent. Wayun gets an independent fleet captain, becomes independent. Oh, hey, look, Faction Pure, right? Wayun Varel if you're not running under 50 points.
Mm-hmm. So in the Rebel fleet, Avatar of Tomid does some really crazy things, like Tucker was just saying. Since it is a Borg ship, instead of Borg, it's being treated as independent. But since it's also Romulan, it's now independent Romulan.
Right. But same deal with the assimilated Barrels. It's just that there's less fun stuff you can do with that.
Mm-hmm. And the assimilated Barrel is supposed to be the prize for this event.
Come on, dude.
Okay, fine. There'll be people that get the prize and run it in this event anyway.
Or play more than one after having won one of them. Remember, some of us out there want like 3 of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of our OP2s probably isn't happening till like end of December or January.
See, there you go. Look at that.
But yeah, the Rebel fleet offer. All right, let's start it this way. The Borg fleet, everything gets Borg upgrade slots. This might actually be the best time to use non-Borg ships because, well, you still get your Borg upgrades if you are going to use non-Borg ships in the first place.
So on the note of getting Borg upgrades, so let's talk about Borg Alliance for a second.
Okay.
Okay. Non-Borg captain, non-Borg ship, right? Isn't that phrased a little bit like Vulcan captain on a Vulcan ship?
Yep. So we're
You
going with
see where
lore
I'm
here?
going with this. We're going with lore. Lore for the Borg slot. 4 Borg slots on one ship. Can you say tax super cube?
I can if we're not going by the 50-point rules.
Yes. Well, look, if you're not going by the 50-point rules, I would do 2 spheres, two tac drones, put a Borg Queen and a Borg missile on a sideboard, maybe a feedback pulse or something, and just have fun from there.
Yeah, because you can get some pretty cheap. You could probably even throw them on diamonds instead with the point reductions.
Right, and can we talk also for a second about how amazing sideboard is when everything on it costs -4 points, or -1 point, I should say.
It's not a ship.
Good point.
I don't think any
But
point reductions apply on the sideboard.
is it every card assigned to a ship?
Let's see. It says to the Borg fleet. Did you open up the recent rulings yet?
Yeah. Clarifications. Yeah. Let me take a look.
Okay.
For the Borg fleet, all Borg cards, captains and upgrades, cost -1 squadron point. What?
All right. So I guess it would work on the sideboard.
Which is stupid.
Sideboard just got 4 points
OP
better.
is really stupid.
To be fair, pretty much all of the ones in this event are, but we're going to keep going anyway
Yeah.
because the prizes are awesome.
The prizes are pretty cool. I mean, TAC Cube 001 is lackluster. Data, especially, I feel like data is going to be a little bit less necessary based on some of the other things we've seen. But the assimilated Varels are awesome. I want like 3. I really do.
Just adding the assimilated template onto a ship automatically makes it better. It's kind of silly.
We are the Borg. The Borg are amazing. You think I'm joking?
The Borg make everything better. Come welcome us with open arms. We only want to make your fleet stronger.
Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added to our own, bitch. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Hey, watch it.
That's like my new catchphrase now is sorry, I shouldn't say that.
David, any fun things you can think of with the Borg fleet restrictions or bonuses?
Well, I like without using a sideboard, you can actually get double sphere, double reroll tac drone, double missile.
Yes, that is also a thing you can get. I will probably run that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pure, it's simple, it's a thing.
No resources. There aren't even any unique cards.
Right.
Yeah, restrict this.
What
are you going to complain about?
Because that takes just, what, 2 spheres and 2 tac cubes? What did Borg missile come in? Tac cube?
Yeah,
2
in the
spheres,
tac
2
cube.
cubes. Yeah, and let me put it this way. Anybody who's thinking about running this has already been running... They probably tried double sphere, double missile at some point, so they probably have everything they need for this already.
Mm-hmm. I see that working pretty well. And of course, the usual just double sphere Picard Ducat would even probably work on this.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take any advantage of any of the cost reductions, which makes me cry a little bit on the inside, but yeah, it'd work.
I was thinking I had a kind of a weird thing set up. Cube 138 with the free action queen, the Klingon independent fleet captain, 2 Borg ablative hull armors, regeneration sequencers, multi-kinetic mines, feedback pulse, 1 Goval, Magnus Hansen, and all of that comes out to 90 points.
This is definitely, I mean, more than anything else, honestly, even the release of the Scimitar, I'm pretty sure this event is why they put the kibosh on Dreadnoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this event just makes Dreadnoughts ridiculous if you're not playing with the 50-point limit.
I was gonna say, especially if you go with what you were talking about earlier, the 4 ablative hull tactical cube
Yeah,
plus
and then
plus the kinetic mines.
sideboard to put a good captain on there. I
Plus
mean,
the
Lore's not
kinetic
bad, but you
mines.
know what I mean. Sorry?
Plus the kinetic mines.
I would probably run kinetic mines in that fleet. Yeah, it seems
20,
like
25 hull, 9 shields. Every time you run back and forth over the mines, everything in the world takes 4 dice.
Yeah, okay, I'd almost definitely run it. How
It's
much
even
is that?
better.
Hold
I
on.
wonder if you could
It's
fit
46 points, so 60 for 2, 74. Lore ends up being 5, so 79. Look at that, exactly enough to fit a sideboard on there. And everything on the sideboard costs less.
We love all these wonderful things.
This event is so dumb, you guys.
Yeah, this is what happens when you mess around with these point cost of things. On the bright side, at least multi-kinetic mines is unique.
Yeah.
That's true.
Having 2 of those and running over both of them every turn would be silly.
Yeah, they're learning a little bit. That's nice.
All right, let's see. The Rebel Fleet. Now this is where things get even sillier.
Yeah.
So, the ability to turn all Borg ships independent opens up so many options for them, it's absurd. Especially in things like Fleet Pure, where the other one of the best independent talents, of course, is Superior Intellect. And of course, the Fleet Captain, which lets you get any single captain you want on a Borg ship.
Let's also talk about the fact that being independent and losing Regenerate really doesn't hurt the Borg that much. Like, Regenerate is far from the top of the list of reasons why the Borg are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I know all about the Borg being amazing.
You sing their praises every day, man.
Not actually, yeah, when you really get down to it, it's...
Every
Anyway.
non-board card that is assigned to the Rebel Fleet costs -1 SP. So basically, you are eliminating faction penalties from Borg ships.
Yeah. Or you could run a Voyager Dreadnought and just run everything in the world.
That is
Also an
true.
option.
So one of the fun things I came up with while I was thinking about this was, again, using the very fun Avatar of Tomed. I sent it to you guys. What was it? I managed to get with a Fleet Captain. I managed to fit 5 copies of Cloaked Mines that cost nothing.
Yeah.
After fleet reductions. Because you can fit Calvin Hudson on that thing, who's independent and now on an independent ship. So all upgrades are -1. The Tech Fleet Captain, so all tech upgrades are -1. The Rebel Fleet bonus, which makes all non-Borg things -1, that's -3. And it's on a Romulan ship, so there's no faction penalty.
Correct.
And under 15, in under 50 points, in a Fleet Pure kind of manner, I can get 5 copies of Cloaked Mines on a ship.
That's faction pure, son. That ship is dual faction.
We don't get dual faction on faction pure things?
Yeah, you absolutely get dual faction on faction pure things. That's my point.
Nice.
That's why it works.
It's beautiful, guys. So, if I have one piece of advice to give you just before we even really get more into this, it's that point reducers are going to start getting absurd. Especially in the 50-point environment limit. Making things cost -1 or up to -2, 3, or 4 with the proper captains and or resources is going to get silly.
I mean, imagine, what's his name? The Vulcan captain that gets a -2 point cost to all Federation and Vulcan tech.
Mm-hmm.
It almost makes me wish there was better Federation non-unique tech, just so that I could use a whole bunch of it.
Because right now the only real Federation tech you've got there is going to be the what is it going to be? The positron beam, I guess. And that's already -2 points.
Something like that, yeah.
Tell you what, I'm going to take a quick look. Oh wait,
Transfer
I can't.
drive, but
Oh wait, I
enhanced
can't read.
mobile
I can't read
pay.
my spreadsheet while I have this color scheme up.
Oh,
Oops.
no, that's unfortunate.
Oh well, that's fine. Wait, can I do it this way? Nope, that doesn't help either. Oh well.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you can have 10 million tractor beams, but that's just depressing. Anyway,
You can have.
yeah,
You can probably have free dorsal weapons arrays or something ridiculous like that.
yeah. Oh, that's easy. Tothgor and Fleet Captain will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sakona. Oh, how would you like free dorsal weapons arrays on like Borg ships? Not that that's a stupid question. Never mind.
You can get free dorsal weapons array on, you know, the Sung maybe.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
There's got to be some way to abuse this with mirror too, because the mirror is just fun.
Oh, speaking of which, let's talk about drone tokens, shall we?
Drone tokens. Let's talk about drone
Yeah.
tokens.
Yeah, and spending them because now, first of all, the thing we get asked all the time is, can you use the Borg Queen Admiral? No, you're still spending 0 drone tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't help Borg ships, and she doesn't help Borg up or she doesn't help Borg ships. But let's talk about non-Borg ships. Non-Borg ships can spend drone tokens. Non-Borg ships can spend drone tokens all day, every day. And you know what gives non-Borg ships drone tokens? Is Borg Alliance.
Borg Alliance, from the prize ship Avatar of Tomed, which we've been talking about over and over again because it's so silly in this next event that was after its prize.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like winning OP1 helps you in OP2.
That is silly. I can't believe. David, can you believe what this guy is saying?
I don't know. Imagine that the rich would get richer. It seems
Yeah.
like a ridiculous concept to me.
Yeah, and I mean, see, the thing is, it's only Borg ships that can't use, Borg thing. I mean, only Borg ships have Borg upgrade slots. Oh, but Borg Alliance gives you a Borg upgrade slot. So if you want to take assimilation tubules, just throw on a Borg Alliance and you'll be fine.
Assimilate everything.
And in case you want to throw it, you're saying, well, at least you can't have it on a sphere. Well, gee, what if I put lore on there?
No, because Sphere is still a Borg ship.
Not in the
Oh yeah,
Rebel
you wouldn't
fleet.
be able. You would, but no, but you wouldn't be able to use the upgrade once you put it on there. That's true. Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Because turning it into independent is something that happens after it's considered a Borg ship.
Correct.
Which is unfortunate, but still. Yeah. Rebel fleet better for... I mean, just both of these are going to make everything just silly.
We are the Borg. The Borg are amazing. It's pretty great.
But yeah, go with anything that can increase your faction, your point reduction. Get everything for free, and just think of all the silly things you could try to fit on a ship. Especially Calvin Hudson's going to be a big one, because he can go on a Borg ship and then make everything cost less.
Yeah.
And give him an extra slot. So you have more room for all those things that cost less.
Yep.
The other thing is, though, half of the fun is going to be fitting all these upgrades on your ship. The other half of the fun is finding a way to use assimilation tubules, because you can bet your opponent is probably going to have a lot of upgrades worth assimilating and or stealing.
Right, and they're probably not going to be running, cost dispersion field. I mean, who would think of doing that?
Well, but remember, whenever you're in a Rebel fleet, you're going against a Borg fleet. And a lot of these Borg fleets aren't going to have a lot to assimilate.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, you got to
So-
spoil all the
So
fun.
I'm trying to think. Is the Rebel fleet really actually just helps playing more Borg vessels? Does the Borg fleet actually help playing non-Borg vessels, or are we still just going to run Borg ships in the Borg fleet anyway?
It depends on what you're doing. If you're faction pure, I think you're only flying Borg in the Borg fleet. If you're mixed, then you might consider non-Borg in the Borg fleet, because getting that Borg slot, it opens up some assimilation tubules or ablative hull armor or stuff like that.
That's a good point, because if you're playing with like ship pure rules or something weird like that, you actually cannot take advantage of that Borg slot.
Right.
Yeah. So, boy, I hope you enjoy running Borg, because I got to tell you, it's pretty amazing.
Let's see, Rebel Fleet Borg, instead of getting your Borg upgrades in a Fleet Pure kind of deal, then you're instead getting independent upgrades, which are not that bad either.
No, because you can still take Croesus, Goval, Magnus Hansen, not Magnus Hansen. You can still take Aaron Hansen, Cyrano Jones, I Stab at
Tribbles!
Thee, Superior Intellect. There's a lot of good independent upgrades out there.
I love independent stuff. And you can also take any captain you want to, because the fleet captain makes it independent as well.
Yup.
So you've got Picard on your Borg ship again, perfectly legal. Well, that's cool.
Sorry, I missed that. My friend is playing Dynasty Warriors and shouted something. You did too.
So yeah, Rebel Fleet is a great way for Borg ships to find ways to get non-Borg upgrades on them.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be playing Borg there and all the non-Borg upgrades. Borg Fleet is great for, well, more Borg. And getting additional multiple 7 times ablative hull armor or something silly like that. Man, I'd love to play this after I got that TAC Cube 001, so I could get 2 armors, plus 1 from Borg Alliance, get another one off of the Queen somehow. Is that possible? I don't even know.
No. No.
That's unfortunate.
Maybe.
More so than I want to think about right now, because it's probably not a serious strategy for other people to follow.
No. It's
But
not.
yeah, the big thing is, take into account there will be no obstacles on this map. And
Yeah,
there are no
3x3 of open goodness.
Define goodness.
Borgness.
Borgness. So basically, the things that worked in RIF1 will probably work here, except don't count on things like cloaked mines being quite as effective, because you do have a little bit more room to work.
Mm-hmm. Anything you ran in OP1, you will probably get. You can just add a couple more cards onto it and run it in OP2.
Yeah.
Thanks to the point reductions, and you don't have to worry about staying outside the edges of the board. Let's see. One weakness I would say though is that reinforcement board will be a little bit harder to work with because of the open space. It's very easy for your opponent to get you lined up on round 2. Or even less, if someone wants to be crazy and run like Picard maneuver.
Yeah, I tested with Picard maneuver. I like what it aims to do, but if you put all your eggs in your Picard maneuver basket, you're going to have a broken basket.
That
And
was
a very
good
tasty
analogy.
omelet. Yeah, if you're running Picard maneuver, you better have a second ship.
Picard maneuver drop your shields,
No.
No.
but it reduces attack size. I could see myself running something silly and stupid like some kind of Borg ship that can go forward like 17 on turn 1. between Picard maneuver and some other bonus slingshot maneuver.
Flagship.
Get
I've
in
been
there
thinking
round
about
one,
this.
steal something from your ship, and then just shoot at you from behind.
I've actually been thinking about this, by the way. Because of the way that you can stack after you move triggers,
hmm
Scout Cube 608 is a really good place to put the slingshot flagship.
Oh yeah, because you can move it farther to get to something that's far away, and then hand off your movement.
You're thinking about it backwards. You can move it, hand off the movement, and then slingshot it forward as well.
hmm So with that particular Scout Cube and one other ship, which is probably what you might be running in, say, a double 50 environment,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, that's a good way to get into range quick on round one.
Yeah, throw on a transwarp drive.
Nice.
Move both forward 6, and then slingshot, forward 4 for one, and then 3 for the other, because it's or actually, put on that turny thingy. Hold on a sec. Let me just check something here. I think what the thing that turns your let's see, that's a tech, right? The thing that turns your red maneuvers.
White.
Yeah, that's a tech.
Yep.
And the flagship that is slingshotty is
10 points.
Oh, it adds talent and weapon. So
Yes.
close.
It's the target
lore
locking one.
for Vulcan High Command, because it's an independent ship now too. Let me just throw this together really quickly, see what it all. Or I could just throw a Paul or somebody on there to grant a tech slot. Yeah, I'll do that because then I can toss them off the ship to use the ability. Sweet. Perfect. Love it.
Let's see. Any other things I can think of for this one? I mean, this could make a swarm filled with interface generators a little more viable, since everything is cheaper. The bonuses can stack a little higher.
Yeah, I'm actually liking that for the scimitars.
Scimitar would actually get to use its Tholaron beam, maybe through the point restrictions.
Nope, still wouldn't fit.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, wait, no, it would fit. You wouldn't have a lot else to do with it though. I was actually in my head. I was putting together a build which was dual scimitars, or it was scimitar and then generic Riemann Warbird. And the scimitar had Denatra and 2 interphases, and the generic had who was it? I think it was Mirok or somebody, and advanced cloaking and interface, and the independent Dominion fleet captain. Slatriel, that's who it was. That's my 2. Since people are going to be spitballing Romulan pure dual scimitar builds, that's mine. It works well for this because you can throw some extra stuff on there. Turns out the scimitar is a rear arc, by the way. So
I saw that. That's pretty nice, and it has a come about. So
yeah, no, that movement dial is nuts.
Definitely better than Voyager.
I would straight up agree with that. Let me think. What else?
Well, things I was thinking about was definitely like the blind shifts from the collective. We've got the Vortivore, or the generic Vortivore, and the generic whatever, not Kronos one, but the generic Bemoth. You could fit 4 of those in a fleet and equip everyone with interface generators, I believe.
Oh, here's a fun one. This is what I was thinking of.
And still have room for like a Denatra captain.
Chang's Bird of Prey. Spoiler alert, guys. The generic keeps the tech slot.
Oh, Chang's Bird of Prey would also work.
Yeah. How do you feel about 4 Chang's Birds of Prey with interface generators?
And you'd still have room, wouldn't you? Or how much is the generic? 20?
The generic's 20. So
plus
you get
3.
them for...
You still have enough room for a Martok or a Denatra in there or 2.
Wait, am I doing math wrong? Hold on. How much is interface generator?
3. 3 Romulan.
3. Oh yeah. So faction penalty, it wouldn't work. That would come out. 4 of them would come out to 92 points.
All right, we're at 90 fleet points, not 100. Dang it.
I know, right?
Keep forbidding these basic things, but you could probably finagle some kind of swarm list, and this would probably be the best and only chance to do it.
Yeah, I'd say so. The ships don't get reduced, but a lot of the things that can make swarms better do. You mentioned Martok 9.
Mm-hmm. Because you're generally looking for cheap upgrades for them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a lot worse than 4 birds of prey, Chang birds of prey, with Martok 9 and like 5 points of random Klingon dorks.
Mm-hmm. I would even go down to 3 so I can get interphase and also some kind of weapon to take advantage of the rear arc.
I could also go 3 birds of prey with projected stasis fields and other terrible things.
Lots of projected stasis field. How many Garoths do I need now? Dang it.
3.
And you could do that, and actually you could even fit in a sideboard and put a 4th one on there. I was working on this build earlier today.
All right, so this section is going about 10 minutes over, so I want to wrap it up. Any final thoughts? We've gone through, Borg are still going to be big. Swarm is going to be helped a little bit, but open field, not much to hide behind. Any final thoughts? David, anything you're thinking of running for this one specifically?
I think for my Rebel, I'm trying to figure out how to get 2 good ships in here, because I think with the point reduction, it's almost it's a lot harder to get 1 super ship.
Yeah, especially because with all the upgrades costing less, even if you throw 10 upgrades on a ship, it's basically giving 10 free points.
Right. Well, and also in Faction Pure, it's a lot harder. It's doable, but I think I like having a second ship for redundancy purposes too. I'm leaning more towards not having all my eggs in one basket, and I'm liking how that plays. But there's some ridiculousness out there. The Avatar of Tomed getting Wayun Veril in Faction Pure on a ship to start is just scary.
Indeed. Tucker, what's probably your favorite one you think you're going to be running for this one?
For Borg, I'll probably go double sphere, double track drone, double missile. I really love that build. It depends a lot on if the venue I intend to play at has banned attack cancellation or not. Attack cancellation in the Rebel fleet also gets stupidly easy. Rebel fleet, I might well be doing some kind of attack cancellation. I don't know yet. I'd have to math it out, but it seems to me... I don't know why I haven't run through the math for this yet, but it seems to me that it'd be pretty possible to do triple attack cancellation even on a 50-point limit if all of the cards are reduced by 1 point. Probably I would try that on Voyager, and that's almost certainly going to work. Wow, I'm doing this in my head right now. So let's say I will do triple attack cancellation Voyager, and double spheres, double tack drones, double Borg missile, because WizKids meta changes can suck it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm not sure what I'm going to go with for this one, but I'm thinking about, since everything's cheaper, it's going to be a little bit easier to get 2 ships. I'm probably going to run some kind of attack double 2-ship attack cancellation build, one with Wayun, Veril, and like Linalis, and the other with Martok, what's it called? Conditional surrender, a couple shrouds, and like Bohica or Breenade.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can fit those on some pretty reasonably sized ships and do pretty well.
I'd agree with that.
Even if they're not specifically, Borg spheres.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess that'll wrap it up then for Resistance OP2. In short, people are going to go crazy. Just go. You might as well go crazy too. Think of something absolutely stupid and go for it. Just because, it's going to be wide open there. Very nice. All right then.
And the answer, by the way, on the Voyager attack cancellation is you have to steal Varel because otherwise it's way too expensive. But yeah, it's pretty much going to work.
Yeah, cancel 3 attacks a turn.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Last but certainly not least, we have the final build from the final regional event.